In the quiet village of Eldernest, nestled between ancient hills and a whispering river, stood the Church of St. Anselm, a sanctuary of peace and piety. Father Gregory, a man of profound faith and gentle disposition, had dedicated his life to the service of God and his flock. Sister Margaret, a nun with a sharp mind and a heart full of compassion, had joined the church to aid in the spiritual and physical needs of the community. Their days were filled with routine, prayers at dawn, tending to the garden, teaching the children, and comforting the elderly. But beneath this veneer of serenity, an unspoken tension simmered between Father Gregory and Sister Margaret. They shared a love for theology, often debating the nuances of Scripture well into the night, their discussions echoing through the empty halls of the church. One stormy evening, as rain lashed against the stained glass, casting eerie shadows inside the church, Father Gregory found himself restless. He wandered the corridors, his mind not on prayer but on the laughter and intellect of Sister Margaret. In the dim light of the chapel, he found her, her silhouette framed by the flickering candlelight, reading from an old, leather-bound book. Their conversation, as always, was deep, touching on the nature of human connection in the eyes of God. But tonight, the usual barriers seemed to dissolve with the storm outside. Words gave way to silence, then to an embrace, and then to a moment where their vows seemed to whisper rather than shout their obligations. The next morning, the sun rose to reveal a world washed clean, but Father Gregory and Sister Margaret awoke to a reality far more complex than the simplicity of their duties. They had crossed a line drawn not just by man but by their sacred commitments. They decided to seek confession from Bishop Eliot, a wise and understanding man. Together, they confessed their lapse, expecting condemnation but finding instead a path toward redemption. The bishop, seeing the genuine remorse and love in their hearts, counseled them on the sanctity of their vows and the purity of their intentions. He suggested a retreat, a time for reflection and prayer, to reconcile their actions with their faith. In the years that followed, Father Gregory and Sister Margaret continued their service, their love transformed into a profound respect and a shared commitment to their spiritual path. Their story became one of human frailty, forgiveness, and the enduring quest for grace in a life dedicated to God. In summary, the consequences of their actions would weave a complex tapestry of personal growth, spiritual reflection, and communal impact. The journey towards reconciliation with their faith, each other, and their community would be challenging but potentially transformative, offering lessons in forgiveness, compassion, and the complexities of human nature within a sacred context. The history of celibacy is thus not just about religious practice but also about the intersection of theology, law, culture, and human nature, reflecting changing societal norms and ecclesiastical policies over centuries.